Hey,
Hey.
welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday, the show
Mm.
that you are currently watching. I wanted to switch it up. I wanted to change it to, the show where instead of the show where we talk about whatever, blah, 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 I just wanted to be like, the show that you're watching. That's what this is. Yeah. No, welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. It's the show where we talk about whatever is on your mind. Um, sometimes life throws struggles at us. Sometimes it throws curveballs. Sometimes we know something's coming and we just like, yeah, it's gonna get bad, and I'm just gonna keep on going this wrong direction until it hits me hard. And then we hit, and then it hits, and we're like, great, now I don't know what to do. We could have been planning, but it didn't. Yeah. Sometimes life is just like that. So we're here to help you get out of that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we aren't professional psychologists or psychiatrists or anything along those lines, but we are professional friends. That's right. We get paid to be friends. No, okay, that's not true. Um, we
Yeah,
but
because
we
we
have
don't get
gone
paid
through
for this. Are you
lives.
getting paid for
Our
this?
own. No, we don't get paid for Don't Worry Wednesday, guys.
I get. I
Kurt,
was gonna say, man,
I
share the love, man.
yeah, no, no, don't get paid. Yeah, Joe pays me to be his friend, so I'm qualified. Uh, would that work? That's
I don't
great.
know.
I guess if you go up to some random stranger on the street and you give him $20 and you're like, "Hey, so here are my issues," and you just talk them out for a while, are they then professional psychologists because they got or therapists because they got paid to do basically therapy work, even though they didn't ask for it or sign up?
That's
You
a
just
good
gave them
question.
20 and then you told them your problems.
Congratulations, you're a professional therapist. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nah, I don't know. But yeah, we're here to basically just help you guys. A lot of times you guys know what to do, how to solve your own problems. But it's nice to have a little bit of encouragement, maybe a different perspective. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. So thanks for being here, guys. We love you, and we are so happy that you guys are here because you guys make this show happen. Um, you guys in the chat, you guys have awesome and wonderful comments, sometimes really funny. And you guys make me laugh during important points that Joe's trying to make, and then I have to stop
Yes,
myself. So
well,
thanks.
it always confuses me because I'm at this heartfelt
Did I say
moment, and
something
then
funny?
Ryan starts laughing. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. And you've done that to me too, and I'm like, ouch. Joe's not even listening to me.
No, because I'm reading the chat. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Nah, it's all good. But yeah. We also today we have with us the person below me who will be sharing his great wisdom and life experiences with you. This is Joe
Hi.
Anderson, and also we have our what man, I always forget the title that we've given her. Princess. We have Princess, who is our chat room hostess, but as well our manager, you could say.
Communications
She keeps us on
manager,
track, keeps
I
us
think.
sure, communications manager. There we go. Keeps us on track, keeps us knowing when we talk too much, and all those type of things. But she also reads the topics for us and many other things. So she is great to have here, and we all appreciate her.
Hmm.
But yeah, all of that aside, done with that segment of the show. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing, Joe?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Princess?
I am wonderful. How about you?
I'm fantastic. How about you, Ryan? I mean, the P.
Okay, that's way better.
Static P. How are you doing,
That's
Static
right. You
P?
call me the P. I'm doing. Is there a word that starts with a peachy? There you go.
Peachy. Good
Starts
job.
with P. Yeah, yeah. There
Yeah,
you go. I'm doing
Static
just
Peachy.
peachy. Yes. Sounds weird.
I'll
I'm doing.
never
I'm doing.
forget my
I'm doing
I'll never
awesome.
forget my
Thank you.
kids. They were so funny because they were like
What
I'm
P
gonna
stand
share this on
for?
the show. What's the P stand for? Poopy pants?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's definitely it. Static P for static poopy pants.
Static poopy pants.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of P's in that.
Yeah,
at least
there's a
three.
couple more than one. Hmm. At least.
At least.
But yeah, how's chat doing? You guys doing? Are you guys doing awesome today? I hope so. If not, then you've come to the right place. But if you
Yes.
are doing awesome, get out of here, punk. No, okay, actually, we'd like it if you stayed. Thanks.
It looks like we do have some there's Shadow Rose, I think. Oh, it's Harmony. Harmony is looks like she's asking for some help with something.
Okay.
Chat awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Harmony, if you or Shadow Rose, whatever you want to go by. Yeah. Feel free to just put it down. And Princess will make sure to write it down for us as well. So let's see here.
Where'd you get that fine looking shirt?
I guess online.
Nice.
What's the name of that place? It's
The internet.
AliExpress.
AliExpress. Nice.
I got it from China.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it from China, and I was like, it was actually I bought it from China before the pandemic happened, like just as it started. And then they closed down like the day that I bought it, and I was like, "You kidding?" And so I bought like a couple of shirts and stuff, and then they all took like half a year to get over here. I was like, "Dang, nuts!" But oh well, that happens.
It does.
I didn't need them. I didn't need them immediately, so I was just like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll wait. I don't care. They'll show up eventually."
Yeah, and then eventually they did show up. It was like the Criminal Idol books.
Mm-hmm.
Took like months and months
Much
and
like
months
that.
and months and months and months and months and months.
Yeah.
Because the boat, it's got to ride
So-
on a boat.
Yeah, and the boat takes longer when there's COVID.
It does.
Yeah, it has trouble sailing across the waters when
boats
COVID
are
is
slower.
around.
Then yes, that's true.
Yes. Boats are slower, and those waters get real thick and heavy during viral seasons.
Saule, we have not changed our payment processing. You know what? I will DM you after the show, and we'll get something figured out for you.
Or are we supposed to be paying Soleil?
No, Saule was trying to order stuff
Oh,
from the website months and months ago.
Yeah.
I still have an active support request in there, and I've talked to Kyle about it. It's a big old mess. I am so sorry, Saule. I tell you what, I will DM you on Discord after the show, and we'll work something out. All right. So just
busy man. All
got
right.
you.
Cool. I'm now that Harmony's got hers in here, I'm gonna go ahead and read down the list of the current topics that we have. And if you're here, let us know. That'd be awesome. You can feel free to put anything in your chat, and that'll help us know. So we've got Ian Lam, Pear, Ezekiel Games, Dracon, Lord Francium, LG, Toast, an anonymous person. If you're anonymous, you don't have to say anything in the chat. Just so you know. Garo, or yeah, that's probably pronounced Garo. Ash, another anonymous person, and Harmony. So I know one of these anonymous people are here. And that is great. We also have Harmony's. Harmony, do you have time for someone else to go, one person to go before you? If not, we can get to yours right away. E. Is that E for yes or E for no?
Maybe like yeet.
Okay.
Like yee. Like
Yeet.
Yee.
Yeet or yes.
Sure. Oh, okay, there we go.
Sure, of course.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Still
Thanks, Harmony.
getting down the lingo.
Yeah. E is short for sure, of course. Perfect. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an anonymous person who
Right.
should be here today. And Yeah. So, this one is titled Voice Crack. Princess just put the link in the chat for you guys. So if
Yeah.
you want to read along, feel free to click that link, and we will. Well, Princess will do the honors of reading it whenever she is ready.
It's a legit link too. I just clicked it.
Oh, good.
Except for the link above it that I had to remove because I accidentally posted harmonies.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
We
it happens.
still
That's fair.
love
That's fair.
you, Princess.
Well, thank you. And hey, I have a question.
Maybe a little less. No, I'm just kidding.
What? You're so
Guys,
mean.
I'm just kidding. I
guys.
love you more now.
La. Hey, I have a question. If a person can perfectly pitch their voice cracks, does it count as an extent of their range? I was voice cracking and pitching it earlier, and now I'm confused. Like, I am confuzzled on if voice cracking is an extent of one's range, as I can pitch my voice cracks and make my voice sound like it's in the 8th octave. From Anonymous.
Nice.
I like this question.
Yeah, I like this question too. Here's what I'm going to say right off the bat. Any control you have over your voice is an addition. Like it's an added effect that you can always produce. For example, obviously in the same realm, you have Mariah Carey, who can go crazy high, right? When she's doing that, her vocal cords are not doing what your vocal cords normally do when you go up that high. Or sorry, her vocal cords aren't doing what they normally do to make the vocal sound. Her vocal cords are whistling, right? Which is weird. But they're whistling. You know, when you right, you whistle, that sound that's coming in and out of your mouth is due to the shape of the cavity and the air flowing through it. When Mariah Carey goes up really high, it's the shape of her throat, and has an incredible control over it, right? And the reason it sounds vocal is because it is still being produced in the same area of her vocals, but it's actually a whistle. And so, and I do all sorts of different weird effects in my songs and when I'm singing. And it's all just an extended range of vocal possibilities. I don't know if it counts as being a new octave, but maybe Joe knows. And but with that, I'm gonna say I think this is awesome and congratulations. You found a new talent of yours. So fantastic. I'm gonna get over to Joe and see what he's got to say.
Yes. Raka put in there yodeling. That's kind of like controlled voice cracking as well. I think. But it's switching between what is it? The modal and what are your falsetto and your modal? Is that what the two?
Yeah,
voices
you got
are?
it. Modal.
Okay. Yeah.
Modal and falsetto.
Right. But I tell you what. Anonymous, I think it probably depends on who you talk to. If you talk to a classically trained, very proper vocal teacher, they will not say that is an extent of your vocal range. And to really extend your vocal range, you need to do this, and that's just voice cracking, But it probably just depends. But I'm in Ryan's boat. That hey, if you can do something cool with your voice, and you can control it and reproduce it again and again and again, that is, yes, you have extended your vocal ability. And if it's a higher pitch, then I would say, yes, you've extended your range. So the key then is control. If you really can control it, man, that's awesome. And Ryan was talking about some of the cool things he does with his voice. I'm constantly impressed by some of the cool things he does with his voice. And, I practice, and I've been able to get a little bit better with my vocal stylings and all that kind of stuff. And, just basically singing while I'm driving, because I drive all the time, right? So
yeah, that's where I started to practice a lot.
Yep. It's kind of fun. But so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to expound on this a whole lot except for that's awesome. And I think yes. I am of the opinion yes, that is an extent you have extended your vocal range because you can do more with it. And actually there's a guy what's his name? The I don't necessarily recommend his lyrics all that much. They're kind of off the wall, but there's a guy named Mike Patton. He was I'll never forget listening to this guy. He was the lead singer for a band called Faith No More and also the lead singer for a band called Mr. Bungle. And maybe there's another one too. But anyway, he made a solo album called Adult Themes for Voice by Mike Patton, and he recorded this on like a 2-track tape recorder in hotel rooms on tour. Right? So he's in hotel rooms and he's on tour with whichever band he was touring with at the time, maybe on multiple tours, right? But he recorded it into this 2-track tape recorder and then released it as an album called Adult Themes for Voice. And it's all just kind of crazy vocal noises all put together in, you know, songs, I guess. I don't know if you call them songs.
Okay, it's one of those.
It's really, really unique to listen to, and I remember listening to that for the first time. A friend of mine in college, he's like, "You need to listen to this. You're a musician," and I'm like, "Yeah, I should listen to this," because I was always excited to hear new stuff.
You're a musician. You'll like this? No, because I like music. I don't know what this is. I'm just kidding.
Yes, but it was very weird. Like, it's weird, and I'm into weird stuff. You know, I like weird stuff. You know, I generally I don't remember there being very many lyrics in it. I think it was just mostly vocal noises, which was impressive to me because I wasn't always impressed with the lyrics this guy wrote for his various outfits that he was a part of. Yeah, I remember hearing that and be like, wow, the human voice can do that. That's very
amazing.
interesting. Yes. So anyway, but yeah, Anonymous, I'll tell you, go with it. Work with it. You know, see if you can get better at it. Keep practicing it, you know, and you never know where it might lead you. You know, like what Ryan was talking about with Mariah Carey. She's actually whistling with her vocal cords. I never knew that before. That's crazy. Like, so she's just expelling air through there to make the whistle. Rather than using the vibration of the vocal cords in their natural way. She's like just forcing air through to make it whistle. And then controlling the pitch of
that's
that.
what I heard anyways.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I probably will never be able to do that, and that's fine. I've got other stuff to do. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, that's pretty much what I have, but I'm excited for you, Anonymous, and I think that's awesome. So, and I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. So, Ryan, have at it.
Yeah, keep singing. I think that's great. Obviously, no talent goes to waste. Even just singing, if you don't do professional singing, it's still nice to be really good at singing. Especially if you can, like, you can sing at church or whatever if you go, but even singing to yourself, it's just enjoyable. Singing to others, singing to your children if you have children someday, right? It's a nice thing. So even if it's wild, I remember spending hours in the car driving and practicing really strange vocal effects to get them to a point where I could manipulate them on cue and have control over them. I learned vibrato, self-taught, was never classically trained, and I learned vibrato, and I don't do it the classical way. There's actually 3 ways of doing vibrato with your throat and your tongue and your mouth and all of that kind of stuff. One of them is not really a vibrato. It's a shoot, I forget what it's called, but it's where you increase and decrease in volume rather than pitch. Joe, what do you call that? I think it starts with a V. Wait, maybe a P? No, it's not a P.
Wait, so when you go, say it to me again. Sorry, I was checking
When
Princess's
you
wiki, like the link that she posted there.
Oh, it's all good. When you increase and decrease in volume in a wave sort of pattern, like
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But people use that as a vibrato sometimes, incorrectly. They'll go kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because
but I forget what
vibrato
that's
is
called.
pitch adjustment, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But so
Yeah.
the
And
the
if it's
volume,
dynamic,
what is that? That's like a Leslie
it's a
effect.
modulation of dynamics.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a modulation of dynamics, and instead of, or sorry, volume instead of pitch.
mm-hmm.
But a lot of people still call that a vibrato, but it's not called vibrato. But anyways, you'll listen if you ever listen to some people on the radio, you'll hear them doing that instead of a vibrato, and you'll just be like, when I hear it, my first thought is, what on earth? What are you doing? That's not a vibrato. You know who does it a lot? Queen. You know the lead singer of Queen?
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Yeah, Freddie Mercury does that.
Mm.
He has that timbre almost, which is just increasing and decreasing in volume, which has a specific effect that people like.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's one unique style of vocal or things that you can do with your voice that people have gotten good at. But for vibrato, there's the classical train where you do it from your chest. And my version, which some people also do, is because I'm self-taught, I had no idea what I was doing. When I learned vibrato, I would just actually change my pitch up and down very smoothly. And then I got comfortable with that and then got um, more control and muscle memorization. And so then now I can do vibrato. So you can learn almost anything that other people can do. So if you hear someone do an effect, try to figure out how to do it. Um, it's a lot of fun, and I remember, just like I said, spending hours driving in my vehicle, practicing all sorts of different things, especially like vocal jumps, going really high to really low,
Mm.
and all sorts of different stuff. There was one point, I don't think I can do it right now, but I used to be able to do trills, which a trill is usually on a woodwind instrument. You go between two notes back and forth really fast, like you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in your voice, you can't do that because when your voice goes higher or lower, it has to peak, or it has to transition smoothly, right? You can't go like straight from A to an E without going to all of the different pitches in between. You can go really fast to make it sound like it, but you can't actually do it unless you really find a really unique way to mess with your vocal cords and find ways to like kind of snap them in different really weird ways. So it's fun. So I would say take this as an opportunity as getting interested and what do you call it? Inspired to try different and wild things with your voice, because the more you can have these effects that you can control, the more your music's going to shine when you sing, because you don't have to linger on an effect, but you can always pull it out of the bag and add it to the song, right? And what it does is it causes people to repay attention again, right? If you sing something straight for like 3 minutes without any vocal effects, without any attitude, without any of this, right? People will lose focus on your voice. But if you add in little effects here and there, it wakes them up, and it makes them go like, "Oh wait, what was that? What was that? That was a weird sound." And then they refocus in on your words or on your melody because you've added something for them to pay attention to, something that was unique that they weren't expecting. So, just like good storytelling, right? Good storytelling isn't just monotonous, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the ups and downs of the whole thing. You have if a good storyteller doesn't just tell you a story with a flat tone, they get excited about certain parts and they get really mellow and quiet about other parts, right? And they have these ups and downs, and that's what makes a really good storyteller. And at some point, maybe a storyteller acts out different voices, right? They have a gruff, tough tone for a certain character and a really soft tone for another. And doing that in your song while you're singing can really um, amplify the song, amplify the vocals. So yeah, keep it up. That's awesome. Does it count as an extended range? I would say it counts as extended skill.
Mm-hmm.
It might not count as extended range classically, but if it allows you to get to those higher notes, then yeah. I mean, people count Mariah Carey's as extended range, so why not? Um, I would say yeah, for sure. Go with it. Classical people, classically trained singers aren't bad. I have no beef with them. They're
No.
awesome. They're incredible.
Not at all.
No reason to discredit their account. And I'm just impressed when I hear one. So I just want to put that forward. Like we aren't against them. But yeah, keep on training. And if you want to take up an opportunity to learn from somebody who has more experience, I think that's a great idea. I never got any vocal lessons or anything, and I'm surprised at what I'm able to do. But I think that if you have a vocal trainer, your vocals will increase a lot faster because you have someone who knows what you need, and they can point out where you can get better a lot faster than you trying to dissect yourself, because they know what to listen for. I know when I hear my own voice, there are certain things I'm like, I hear myself doing, but I only notice like a year later, right? Because then I'm like, wait a minute, I could do that better. I need to open this part of my chest more. I need to do blah, 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 right? Usually it's by listening to other people and I'm like, oh, wow, they sound really good. Oh, it's because they're doing this. And I can tell that they're doing that only because I've literally been in the field for so long. But to have someone who's already been in that field to train you is fantastic. I would seek someone out, obviously high schools, etc. They have music teachers, but they're not going to be as honed in on one person. So if you can get time with them exclusively for like a one-on-one, that might be good. But otherwise, you might be able to want to seek out someone who is a professional vocalizerist.
Vocalizerist.
Yeah, Nikahiga. He had this. I don't remember. It was like a 12-syllable version of someone who teaches vocals. And
yes.
It was vocalizerist, something I can't remember, but it was silly. Anyways,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's all I got. Did you have anything that came to your mind, Joe?
Yeah, well, I wanted to reemphasize what you said about we have no beef with classically trained people. It's interesting because it's just there are just different approaches to music, different societies of music, all these kinds of different things, right? I spent a great deal of time in the world of orchestral percussion. I was, when I was in college, I got a few gigs with one of the symphonies in the area, and so I got to spend some time with some really high end, percussionists and people who played in symphonies professionally, and it's a whole different atmosphere than going and playing rock and roll in bars.
Absolutely.
So, and then that's totally different than going and playing a festival, and that's totally different than going and playing, some kind of, outdoor gig at somebody's house, and I mean, so really the important part is, anytime you're looking at what you can do as a musician, the more time we can spend thinking about, how's the audience going to perceive this? How's the audience going to like this in this setting? What's appropriate? What is, it's really about them. I remember, because what I would always get into playing, I was back there kind of dancing around on the percussion, and the conductor hated me as I'm dancing around in the back, playing the bass drum part, right? My ponytail, I had a ponytail, and it's like kind of flopping. And there's this lady who came up to me afterwards. She's like, "You looked like you were having so much fun back there," and everybody, like in the orchestra, everybody's very stoic, and that's kind of really, that caters to the audience that's going to see the symphony, right? They're going to be drawn into the music. And, for me to be this rogue percussion guy dancing around back there might have adjusted the mood for them. And I wasn't aware of that at the time, right? So, but then I remember this, and this is to reflect really thinking about your audience. The best compliment I ever got as a drummer was when I had a full dance floor at a bar or a club or whatever, wherever I was playing. The dance floor was full. People were dancing and having a good time. And nobody said anything about my drum playing the entire night. That was the best compliment I could have ever gotten, because what I did was I did my job. I catered to the audience. I helped them have a good time, and I didn't draw attention to myself, right? So the more we can think in terms of how am I serving the listener? How am I helping them have a more enriched life? Those are things to think about as you do this. So no matter what your style of singing or your range, all that stuff, no matter what it is, there's a spot for it in the world of music. And it's just a matter of finding that spot and finding that audience, and then giving them what they want, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So anyway, that's all I had to say. Back to you.
Awesome. No, that's perfect. Yeah, and it's true. I think in those settings, like the classical, orchestra, symphony, etc., your intention is to remain reverent. Your intention is to make the song heard, not the people noticed. And we live in a society that's very the opposite of that, because we want the people to be noticed and the song is secondary. And I think that's appropriate. However, if the song doesn't touch you because the people are dancing or whatever on stage, and you just carried away by the different motions that are on stage, it can, like, what's going on stage can be really distracting, basically, right? And so that's why they don't want people doing that in the orchestra, the symphony, etc., because they don't want people to be distracted from the point that they're there, right? So I think that it's actually it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to be part of a marching band or to be a part of a symphony, orchestra, or any of that kind of stuff, because you have to perform, but you have to be very strict on yourself in the way that you're behaving. And I think that that's something that everybody probably should get some training in. It would be really cool if in school they had more training in like rhetoric and things like that, and how to be respectful, or how to be what's the right word, to show reserve in certain scenarios and things like that. But there's no social training in schools at all. There's none, and that stinks. But there is in band. There is in band, and that's about it, depending on your band that you're a part of, high school band. But anyways, so I think it's time to move on to the next topic. Thank you, Anonymous.
Yes, thank you
for the great question. We hope you did it justice, and we hope that we encourage you to continue on your vocal adventure and training, because I think that's fantastic. That's really exciting to me, because I know how exciting it was back when I was discovering all these things about my voice and the weird things I could do with it. So I'm really excited for you Believe it or not, I might not be like jumping up and down for joy, but I don't tend to. Um, but I am actually really excited for you. I am. I am. Um, so way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Let's move on to the next one. 2 thumbs up, one from me and one from Joe. Because if we both did 2 thumbs up, it's 4 thumbs.
4 thumbs up.
4 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up.
I didn't have any thumbs up that time. That was 1.
Okay, 1 pinky up. Because it's tea time.
A pinky and an index.
Yeah.
A
Surf's
pinky,
up.
a ring, and an index walk into a bar.
Ugh.
How did they walk?
They should have been looking better. They shouldn't have run into that thing.
Is there a follow up to this?
No, I
Princess,
there'd
what's
be
the
a
follow-up to
follow-up
this
to
joke?
this. No,
A pinky,
didn't
a
know
ring,
there was
and
a punchline
pointer
or
I
not.
didn't get that far.
walk into a bar. You'd think one of them would have
Okay.
seen it.
Yeah. You think? Wait. First of all, they don't have eyes, so of course they didn't. Second of all, how are they walking?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess. Okay, I guess you could say
But in a joke, everybody
a pinky,
walks.
a ring finger, and an. Yes, the
It's a
punchline would be
joke.
this: a pinky, a thumb, and a ring finger walk into a bar. Well, they had help.
Genius.
There you go. Because that's my punchline, anyways.
Good job.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Shadow Rose Harmony, and we're going to do their topic, since we promised we would next. So, yeah, this one is from Harmony, as we just confirmed that. It's titled "Conflict of Self-Identity." Conflict of self-identity. I think this is going to be a good topic, and well, I actually got to see it earlier, so I know that it is. Princess just posted for us the link to this topic. If you want to read along, it's short, but feel free to do so.
It goes, I need help. I think I might be bisexual, but I don't know. From Harmony.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Short, concise, perfect. I guess I do have a question. If you want to add any more information onto this, why do you think that? I'm guessing the simple enough answer would be because I seem to be attracted to that. But if you have anything more, feel free to share. I think this is a really important topic, but it's also obviously because of the times, it's a delicate topic. It's a sophisticated topic in a way, or maybe not sophisticated, rather complex. Complex is what I meant. It's a complex and delicate topic, especially in these times, right? Because of all of the, LGBTQ, etc. uproar that's been going on over the last 10 years. But yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting topic, and I want to let you know, whether you're straight, bisexual, gay, lesbian, whatever, we love you. No matter what. And that's probably why you came to us, because you knew. And we appreciate that. We appreciate that you're open enough to share this with us. I think that's awesome. But yeah, know that we love you no matter what. So I'm going to give it over to Joe and see what he's got to say about this.
Thank you, Ryan.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you. First of all, I want to
Tread
restate
carefully.
what
No, just
Ryan
kidding.
said. I want to restate what Ryan said and say, no matter what, we're gonna love you. It doesn't change our opinion of you at all if you fall into any of the various camps that are there. And so, because we're all people, right? And we all have different viewpoints on the world. We all have different feelings inside. We all have a different combination of stuff going on in our hearts and our minds and our bodies and everything, right? It's just incredible, the creations that we are, that we can even feel these kinds of ways. It's just astounding. I mean, there's order in the universe, and that tells me there's an orderer. But so here's the thing: the way I want to how do I want to approach this? First of all, like Ryan said, we love you. Second of all, you're more than just this label. One of the things our culture has decided to do these days is make this identity, whether it's gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, trans, all these things, and wrap it up into like the core of our identity and who we are. And to me, that really sells a human being short. Because there's so much more to any of us than our orientation in this direction, right? Whether we're gay, straight, bi, whatever, there's more inside of you than just that. And to me, it does us a disservice to focus on that one area of a person's life and label them that and make that like the main thing that they are. Because to me, I mean, I don't know. Ryan and I are both Catholic, so you probably you might have heard some horror stories about Catholic people saying, "Oh, well, gay people are evil, bi people are evil, all this stuff is evil." No, the person is not evil. What's going on is we have temptations in a certain direction. We have an orientation and an attraction that's pointed in a certain direction. And that is not evil or good. It's really neutral. Now, what we do with it, that's where things kind of cross over. So, but we don't even need to go into that necessarily, because even then, we don't always act in a free state of mind. Sometimes we're compelled to act in certain ways. And so, sometimes things aren't 100% our fault. And people talk about being born this way. I agree. I think people are, the way we're raised, the way we grow up, the way we're born. I think there's definitely some of us are just pointed in certain directions, with attraction. And it's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a person, no matter what camp you fall in there. And so I want to encourage you. Just because, sometimes we talk about if people come out of the closet to their parents or whatever, we've dealt with that before on here. And sometimes it's not anybody else's business. Really. The attractions I have aren't necessarily anybody else's business. Because I don't have to go around and act on every impulse that comes into my mind. I can evaluate an impulse. I can look at, I can be attracted to a person and I can make a decision. I can make a rational decision whether I want to go there or not go there. Right? So at the end of the day, we all have choices of how we're going to act. But attractions in and of themselves, those are feelings. And to me, I'll say it again, to reduce a person's identity to a feeling that they have, that to me does a person a disservice. Because we're so much more than that. Harmony, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you have talents, you have abilities, you have people that love you, you have people that you love, you have all kinds of stuff all around you. You have things that you're good at. You have things that you want to learn. You have things that you want to grow in. You have areas of life to explore. This is one small slice of your experience. And you are so much more than just that. You are an infinitely valuable human being. And that's why, I mean, we're not ever going to judge somebody because of their feelings. But we're definitely going to love people because they're valuable. And so, I don't know. I hope some of that makes a little bit of sense. I don't have a whole lot more to say at this point, so I'm going to turn it over to Ryan and hear what he has to say, and we'll go from there. So, Ryan?
Sure. I mean, I second everything Joe said. I think that's a great start to this topic. Yeah, if you're attracted to something, right? Generally, that's just an experience, right? That's something you're experiencing. That doesn't make up who you are, right? If I see a light bulb, right? And that light bulb shines into my eyes and it gives me the vision of everything around me and I can see that light bulb. It doesn't determine who I am inside. That doesn't determine who I am as an individual. It doesn't determine my future or my past. That is literally just an experience. I'm seeing light. It doesn't make me light. It doesn't make me a light bulb. If you find something that you're attracted to and it's beautiful, there's a certain sense of good and justice in that, right? You see this world around you, it is full of many beautiful things, right? Some people are attracted to certain things. For example, some people like grass on their lawn.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't look at them and identify them as a grass-loving person.
Yeah, but
you're grassy.
They go down in my book because I'm allergic to grass. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, me too. I hate them. No, I'm just kidding. I hate grassies.
Grassies.
Yeah, some people, they prefer rock. They want the whole yard to be made of rock. They want to live on a rock. That's just one huge rock.
Yeah.
Like out in Colorado in the mountains or something. Yeah. Rock. Man, those people are rocky. And that's who they are inside. That's the whole of them. That's all they are. Right? That'd be ridiculous to say. But that's just an attraction. That's an experience that we're experiencing. That's just an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to see something and being like, I like that. That looks pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That looks good. Right? As a Catholic, we celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
We have paintings and pictures everywhere on our walls. We have statues. We celebrate beauty, right? And we celebrate them by sculpting people. You can go into some churches and there's naked people, right? Sculpted.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate the beauty that is the human body. The thing that we don't celebrate is the desire to make that person an object.
Mm.
To want that person to please you, to want to own that person, or to, etc. Right? That's what we as Catholics say. That's crossing the line. When we see something beautiful, we want to celebrate that beauty, not take from it. Right? And so, while sex tends to be a thing where both people are taking, it can be a thing where both people are giving. It can be a thing that both people are taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine different relationships that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are different relationships that you're looking at two couples and they're like, you guys shouldn't be a couple. You guys are just trying to take from each other. You're not trying to give anything to each other.
Mm.
You guys should break up, right? I'm sure you've seen that, right? And so in sex, it's the same thing. We as Catholics just say, hey, get married first. That way you've already made the commitment to say, I'm giving my life over to this person. I'm giving everything I own. Everything I own is now theirs. right? Including myself, including my time. And so it's a very beautiful thing, and we like to celebrate that sort of beauty, right? So for Joe and I as Catholics, we understand you might have an attraction to a gay person or to someone who's of the same sex or of a different sex. It is what it is. That's just an experience. It doesn't make you who you are. So you have to maybe you might see society forcing you down a path because they want you to identify as one of these things. And it happens a lot in even really young kids who are in elementary school. They're being forced by teachers to say their sexual identity.
Wow.
Even though they're in elementary.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not just making that up. It's on the news. Like that's happening. And it's crazy to me because it's not the teacher's place to know the child's sexual attractions because the teacher shouldn't be having sexual relationships with that child. Right?
That should go without
similarly saying. Right. So similarly, if you're attracted to someone, you don't have to let the world know, because if it's a sexual attraction, and you like I don't have to let my mom know if I'm attracted to a girl, right? Because my mom's not going to be a part of that relationship, right? I'm not inviting her in to that relationship, so it's not her business, etc., right? So and that's what Joe was saying earlier, right? It's honestly, many times it's not their business. It's not my business, Harmony, to know your sexual orientation, because that's between you and the person that you hopefully marry someday, right? Well, what is it to me? What difference does it make in my life if I know that about you? It doesn't make any difference. If it does, and that's my issue. If I loved you less because you liked, if you had a certain attraction, like if you liked rocks more than grass on your lawn, and that upset me, then that's my issue. It's not your issue. It's my issue for like getting upset over something. I understand humans, we can't always control what we're attracted to. We can, but not always. Our instinctive response is what it is. And then we might try to force it away and push it away. And sometimes we can't. And sometimes we can. So, right? Doesn't mean one way is wrong or right? I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that what can we do? You know, the only thing we can do is decide what kind of choices we're going to make about it, right? So one of the things you said, well, the thing you said is, I need help. I might be bisexual. I don't know, right? Here's the point of everything I was saying. Don't feel forced to make a decision on that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It matters very little. It only matters in a very few scenarios. And if you don't know, that's okay. You'll figure it out. I guess just ask yourself the question. When you look at someone, are they attractive? Okay. Cool. If not, cool. If they are, cool. What are you going to do about it? That's really the only thing that matters. What are you going to do with that attraction? You know what I do? You know what I do when I see someone who's attractive? I let them know. I say, hey, wow, you look great. You look really cute, or you look stunning. Your hair is gorgeous. I just let them know. And you know what that does? It doesn't make it sexual. It actually removes all of the sexual desire when I do that. If I look at someone and I have like, wow, that person is super good looking, and if I have any sense of lust whatsoever, if I just approach that person and immediately make that person a human being by approaching them and entering conversation saying, wow, you look amazing. And then cutting off the conversation, even just there. That desire within me, that desire to make them mine, that lust, it's gone. Because now I've made that person a human being. I've entered into conversation with them that is friendly, and that does wonders. So if you might think, hey, I might be bisexual, okay. So you find men and women attractive. Well, then that's a blessing. Because now you can go to them and say, hey, you look amazing. You look great. I see the beauty in you. The way that your jaw was designed is very attractive. The way that your blah blah is shaped, the blah blah whatever, right? Your nose is amazing.
Wait, what part of the body is the blah
some
blah?
people, your nose. your the vertical cortex.
The blah, that's the blah blah?
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, your
abs.
your
You have
left
abs.
cheek
That's so cool.
is beautiful.
Yeah, your left cheek. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you just? Yeah. Can you just? Yeah, that's really nice.
Not too far though.
Yeah, not too far. I don't want to see this. I don't want to have to start seeing the back of your neck. I just want your left cheek, please.
Nice.
Okay. So what I'm saying here is, if you have an attraction to something, take it as a blessing, because there is beauty in this world. And from a religious standpoint, all that beauty points to God. Because God is beauty, and he infused the world with beauty. And to celebrate that beauty is to celebrate God. And so if you see someone and you're attracted to them, it is fine. Your inner emotions are celebrating the beauty. But you don't have to make it into something sexual.
Mm-hmm.
You can simply make it as something you celebrate because it's beautiful, and you let that person know. That's how I go about it. Personally, I'm straight, but it doesn't mean I can't look at a man and say, wow, you've got some really attractive features.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true. They do. I see it all the time. Like, wow, that's one good-looking kid. Whew. Yeah, abs, like 17 of them.
17 abs. How did you
They
get
go all the way
a
up to the neck.
17th ab?
One of them's right in the middle. Okay, anyways.
I think that's called a xiphoid
that's
process.
what I got.
You've got a beautiful xiphoid
Yeah.
process.
You gotta. Oh man, your xiphoid's so hot. Sorry, what? Yeah. Anyways, okay. If you have a phobia of men, huh?
that could play into things.
I would recommend. That very well could play into things. I would recommend trying to get over that. Right. It might help clear things up for you if you so desired on this realm, but there's no reason to have a fear of men. Now, of course, it's a phobia. It's slightly irrational. You understand that, and it's not easy to just get over. I get it. They scare you. It's understandable. Men are ridiculous people, but so are women. So,
we're all kind of ridiculous.
We're all kind of We're all kind of scary sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if it helps any, I'm a man, and Joe's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Princess is not a man, but if we can be good examples of what good men are, then hopefully that might open your heart up to being less afraid of them. But yeah, that's what I got.
I understand.
Joe, did you have anything else you wanted to add on?
Women scare me. Yep.
Yeah.
And so does Ryan.
It's their sharp elbows.
Ryan scares me too.
Yeah, it's because I'm a woman.
Also with the sharp elbows.
I have woman length hair. What? Yeah, and the short. Yeah,
sharp
I have
elbows.
sharp elbows.
Yeah, it's the sharp elbows that really get it. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make light of that. Because yes, we can generally tend to see the thing. I think one of the one of the things to watch out for, and I didn't realize that teachers in elementary school are having kids do this.
Yeah, not all of them, but there have been cases.
I think, you know, honestly, I'm trying to think of like what might be going on in a teacher's head to want to do that. And to give them the benefit of the doubt, I think maybe they're trying to just, you know, make people feel comfortable around, you know, all types of people, maybe. So they try and, you know, so then they all can see that, hey, we're all part of a mixed bag of people. We're all different in a way, you know, and that's okay, you know, and we shouldn't belittle people. And but one of the side effects of doing that is it groups us all up, you know, and it makes us exclude others. Now, so we might find a group of people that we really click with and exclude other people because of it, right? And that seems to be what has happened in this whole dynamic that we live in our culture. You know, we should be inclusive of everybody, regardless, right? I mean, there should never be anyone that we don't love. Now, we can love them from a distance if we
Yep.
You know, if they've mistreated us, if they've harmed us, if there's all kinds, you know, whatever, you know, it doesn't mean we have to like them. And it doesn't mean we have to be like all lovey-dovey with them or close to them, but, you know, we should be able to love everybody. And just appreciate the fact that, hey, that's a human being. And maybe they don't have everything figured out right now. Maybe they're really striking out in the area of treating me because they are mean to me and awful. And so, but even in that area, I can forgive them. I can still love them from a distance. Right? I can love them and they stay over there and I don't talk to them. And that's okay. But really, we shouldn't be judging people because of an experience that we have. And that's generally what ends up happening in this whole dynamic. When we start to label ourselves, you know, of whatever group that we're in, a sense of judgment kind of comes in. We see this in religion too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really, you know, I like to understand people of other faiths. That's why right now I'm listening to the Quran. I'm a Catholic. I'm listening to the sacred documents of Islam because I want to understand where they're coming from, and I want to understand the history, and I want to understand, you know, what's really there, not just what everybody's telling me is there, which is in most cases so far off track. You know? Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. When you get into religion, you get emotions involved. You get all kinds of stuff. I just, you know, I was telling the guys, we had a meeting beforehand, and I'm a Catholic, right? And I just had a 2-hour meal with a friend of mine who's a Baptist minister. Like we sat down. It's the first time I've been in a restaurant since the pandemic, right? First time. And I go to this restaurant, and this is a guy who was another martial arts dad, and so we've fought each other. We've punched each other and kicked each other and made each other bruise and stuff. I mean, he's got
not on this event, but in training.
Right, in training. Now, this guy has hands down the hardest shin bones of anybody I've gotten to spar. And so when he would kick me, and I would rather him kick me in the chest, because I had a chest piece there. But the proper thing would be to block it with my arm. But if I blocked his shin with my arm would get bruised. But if I let him connect here where I had like a chest protector, it didn't hurt nearly as bad.
Uh-huh.
So like, I prefer you kick me in the chest. But anyway, I didn't know this when I was fighting him at martial arts, but he's a Baptist minister. Now, Catholics and Baptists, we're both Christians, but we line up on opposite sides of the table, or of the world in a lot of theological discussion. So we had, but since we're friends, we're civil about it and we're nice about it, and we joked and had a good time. But it was a matter of understanding each other. That's where we were at. And if we can get to that point with other people, whether they're gay, straight, bi, trans, anything, seek to understand people who are different than you. When we can do that, it enriches everything. It enriches us. It enriches them. They gain a friend, we gain a friend, and we gain some education and knowledge about what makes this person tick. And then we know better how to approach other people who have the same interests in a better way, in a more peaceful way, in a non-judgmental way, where we're not going to just automatically offend somebody. So many times in my life, I have said something where I was ignorant. I didn't really know what was going on in whatever case, and I was dealing with a person who had different beliefs than me or different feelings than me, and I would go and talk to him, and I would say something that was absolutely insensitive, right? And I didn't mean to. I just, I would talk to them and I'd say something and then they'd get hurt feelings and it'd be a problem and, whatever. But through having enough of those experiences, I'm like, you know what? I really need to try to understand these other people. So if we happen to have feelings about being bisexual, it's good for us to talk to other people who feel the same way, and it's good for us to talk to people who are different in that regard. And to really, rather than put out, hey, this is me, this is my label, instead ask the question, ask them about them, talk to them. And the better we get at asking people questions and listening, the more that bridges the gap, and the more they understand that if you come across somebody who, let's say you have feelings where you're bisexual, and this person would normally think, hey, bisexual, that's bad. But you go and you talk to them, maybe you would have an impact on their life and they would understand, hey, you know what? That's a person. Just because they have feelings that align in a certain direction, that doesn't change the fact that they're a person. It doesn't change the fact that they're lovable, that they're a beautiful creation. So I want to encourage you. It's okay. And I would also encourage you to avoid the label. Avoid it. You're a person. You are Harmony. I don't know if that's your real name, but that's the name that you've told us in the chat, and that's fine. You are you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You are one in trillions. You are unique. And I'm really happy to have spent some time with you, and I hope you continue to spend time with us here. It's awesome. So just understand, we love you. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, all that, we're going to love you here. And yeah, so just keep being you, because you're amazing. And with that, I'm turning it back to Ryan. Ryan?
Awesome. Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot more to add on. I think that this is a good topic, and I hope that we did it justice. I hope that, of course, we didn't offend anybody. I don't think that we did. I don't know how anything that we said could have been offensive, since we're pretty open about it. Honestly, we understand that it's an experience, right? It's not who you are. It's not your core feature about you. You have many features about you. Are you a Cheerio loving person? To me, kind of is the the same realm as, are you a bisexual? Like, it's not a big deal. You are attracted to what you are attracted to. You like the foods you like. What are you going to do about it? That's the only question. Are you going to eat Cheerios? Or are you going to say, no, Cheerios aren't healthy for me. I'm going to stay away from them. Cheerios aren't that bad, but you get my point. You know,
Cheers.
some chocolates are good for you. Some chocolates aren't bad, or some chocolates aren't good for you if they've got like an insane amount of sugar in them.
That's right.
We like candy, you know, and I'm not saying that inherently. I'm just basically saying that some things, all things, need us to make the right choice on them. Basically, all of our attractions require us to make a decision, and being straight is the same. People who are straight have the same issues as people who are bi. And people who are bi have the same issues intellectually, in their brain, in their bodies. They pretty much have the same issues as anybody who is of any sexual orientation. We're all living our lives. It's just, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to choose? What choices are you going to make? That's the only thing that matters. And all things require balance, right? All things require a wise choice to be made about them. Just because you like Cheerios doesn't mean you should eat Cheerios and nothing but Cheerios forever. In fact, that'd be bad.
Yeah. You should eat more than
'Cause
Cheerios.
Yeah, you should. Definitely. Doctors recommend it.
Doctors recommend it. I've never heard a doctor recommend that, but okay.
Yeah, doctors recommend it. They say eat more than Cheerios, kids. Yep, doctors recommend it. Just like dentists recommend every brand of
Every
toothpaste.
brand of toothpaste.
Yes,
Yes.
dentists recommend every brand of toothpaste. We had this discussion just as a joke last Tuesday, so it's yesterday. And when they say that, what they're trying to say is you're supposed to take all of the brands of toothpaste and pour it into one bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your, what is it, Joe?
It's the community toothpaste bucket.
Yeah, that's right. Your community toothpaste bucket.
Community
So everyone can
toothpaste
just
bucket. Which
dip it in.
I'm going to name an album that, so nobody steal it.
Yeah.
Community
No one named their album
Community Toothpaste Bucket.
Toothpaste Bucket.
Yeah.
Because
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that'd be like? It'd be a great shortcut to herd immunity, you know, like
Oh,
we'd
yeah.
be sharing diseases.
Yeah.
If everybody had to come and dip their toothbrush in a bucket in the community, you know, to brush their teeth with.
But this stuff in toothpaste should kill a lot of stuff
You
that
think
you would
so?
get, that you would transfer.
You think so?
Not all of it, but quite a bit of germs and things.
Yeah. I'd always be the
I don't know
last
if it
guy.
would
I'd
kill
be the last guy to
viruses.
show up, you know, and there'd be like a little bit of scrapings on the side and the bottom of the bucket, and I'd have to be like digging around in there and scraping the sides and be like, oh, is that enough? No. And all that's left is the bottom is crest or something, you know.
Why is it? It's not crest, it's crust.
Crust.
All right.
Yes, Lay, you are right.
It's all hardened.
Yep. At least 9 out of 10 dentists recommend insert toothpaste name among insert a list of 100 plus toothpaste. They just want you to use a toothpaste. Yes.
That's right.
Yep, they should.
Yes.
10 out of 10 dentists are dentists. Absolutely.
Whoa, nice. It's a pretty high percentage there.
That is 100%.
Okay. Well, that does that topic justice. Thanks for throwing this one at us, Harmony. We love you.
Mhm. Yes.
And don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't let other people put pressure on you for figuring out your identity. There's way more to you than your sexual preference. And in fact, those people who are forced, if you have anybody forcing you in your life for that kind of information, you can let them know that you don't plan to have sex with them, so they don't need to know.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. So that's what we got. It's a pretty hard answer.
It is. That's kind of.
But anyway, a
that's-
response
hey,
to that.
Whoa. That'll do.
It's like, dang, that person's not very open.
Yeah.
Is that the end of this conversation? Because it sounds like it is. You want me to go
Yeah,
away?
I think
don't
I
you?
will just turn
Okay.
around and leave. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Um. Anyways, moving on. Thank you again for the topic. Let's move
Mhm.
on to another one. I'm gonna go ahead and read down this list again.
Yeah.
If any of you in the chat are inspired to have us talk about a specific topic, if anything came to your mind, or if anything's happened in the last 20 minutes that you want us to talk about, feel free to just put it in the chat. You can also send it to us on the forums at bss.studio. I forgot to cover this earlier, so I'm doing it now. Or you can send us an email if you want to remain anonymous, and that would be going to DW or sending an email to dww@bss.studio. All right. So it looks like we have one anonymous here, but I'm going to go ahead and read this list just in case anyone is here. We've got Ian Lam, Pear, Ezekiel Games, Dracon, Lord Francium, LG, Toast, Anonymous, Giero, Ash, and no more. And not one more.
Who's no more? Oh, not one more. Gotcha.
Not one more. Yeah. Different people, both of them.
No more and not one more. I haven't seen them in the chat ever.
Yes. No
Like
more
ever.
and not one more. You know, they're quiet.
They're quiet. All right.
They're almost non-existent.
Rocco wants to keep talking about toothpaste, and we have
Thanks, Rocco.
immature
I love you.
success has a question, also, just posted in the chat.
I see.
Sparrow, you also posted recently too. Today?
Oh. Then Sparrow and Immature Success. Immature Success, that's a cool name. Sparrow, did you?
Did you post
Did
today?
I miss it?
Did you post it? Where'd you post it?
Yeah.
It might have also just been posted to date during the live stream, in which case I have a harder time getting to them right away.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm also part of the show. So
Understandable.
Yep. There's
Yeah. Thank you.
it is there.
52 minutes ago. Yeah.
All right. Immature Success. We
Ooh.
will. Princess will. I shouldn't say we because Princess does all the hard work. Is going to write your topic down as well.
We got a few
So we
coming
have-
in. Immature Success. We got Master Lay's got a topic in the chat now.
Awesome. Well,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
You guys are awesome.
would you guys mind if I read Sparrow's really quick and then took care of that?
Yes. I mean, no, we wouldn't mind at all.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Great.
I'd absolutely hate that. Please do it.
Wow.
Sorry. I love you too. Thank you.
Is that the link? Is that the link? Oh, it's the link. Look at that, man. Woohoo. Thanks, Princess. Princess, you're amazing, just so you know.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I want you to.
I'll keep saying it.
Do you want to do the? Yeah. Do you want to do the Japanese part?
I
It's
can
short.
Google Translate it.
Okay. The image there, the kanji is a sparrow.
Oh, cool.
私はスズメです. I am a sparrow. According to Google Translate.
Ah.
Hello all. Quick question. How you can explain it after I. You can explain it because you know it.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's good. Thank you.
Quick question. How can y'all have fun during your days off work? All I can think about is work, I'm assuming. What will work be like tomorrow? It's really hard to get around that. Sparrow's gone. P.S. Sorry I've not been around. I don't have time for much anymore to watch streams and stuff. And the ending is arigatou gozaimasu, or thank you. From Sparrow.
Man, you guys in your Japanese, I'm so impressed.
はい。どういたしましてありがとう。So, yeah, I'm having way too much fun with colors. Why did they say that? Sparrow, why? Hold on, I have night mode on. Let me
He
turn the night
colored the
mode.
text.
Oh, that looks great. Okay. Please continue to do this. It looks fantastic.
Hmm.
I like the colors,
Oh,
dude.
that is cool.
I had to turn night mode off because it recolors everything. But as soon as I turned it off, I like it. It looks great. Okay, so yeah, this is a good question. I mean, what do we do on our days off of work? What do we do to relax or be productive in a way? You can be relax. You can be productive on your days off. That's not work oriented. Bless you,
Mhm.
by the way.
Thank you.
So and also the whole issue of letting go of your work. I know that a lot of people struggle, have a very very hard time with this, where they're just it's their day off and all they can do is think about what their work schedule looks like on the next day or the next week,
Mhm.
and they can't let it go, and it comes stress. They get stressed out. So, Sparrow, if you feel stressed out, I understand. You're not alone in that boat. There are a lot of people who who do that. But watching the people do that myself, I would highly recommend against it. Uh, that's not the point of your day off. It's not the point of relaxing. Um, it's the opposite of that. So I would recommend trying to get away from your work in your mind. And I understand how that is very difficult.
Mhm.
Um, but anyhow, with that said, I'm going to move it over to Joe so that the man himself can share the man's wisdom with you.
Wow. I you just set me up
Take it away, the
like
man.
a golf ball on a tee right there. You're gonna shank me into the woods, aren't you?
Yeah, I hope not. That's not
Oh.
where you go. You go in the hole.
That's your home. Why don't you just go home?
It's your home, but you don't like your home, little ball. Get in your hole. Oh my gosh, Adam Sandler.
Oh my goodness.
I actually like that movie. It's so
That was a
great.
funny movie. There's a lot of language in there, but that was good.
Hmm. I wouldn't recommend it, but I really like it.
It was funny. Yeah, how do you have fun on your day's work? All I think about is what will work be like tomorrow. So what you've got a mental attachment to your job. And I know I have dealt with that too, where in a lot of times it's within the first maybe the first few years of me having a job, maybe that I go through that until I kind of figure out, what um how to get around that. And part of that's just because um well, so let me ask you, how Sparrow, how long have you had this job? That would be something I would be interested to know. If you hear that and want to put it in the chat, that'd be awesome. But for me, there's when I first get a job, and for a while after I first get that job and I have it for a while, part of it is just that I'm always trying to think of ways that I can do it better. 3 months. Okay. Yep. That's definitely within the time frame where I would be doing this as well. Where even when I'm not working, I'm thinking about it because it's it's a huge part of my life every other day that is not my day off, right? And so even when I'm not there, I'm thinking, okay, what's that going to be like? How am I going to make an adjustment? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Right. And it takes some time to get into that rhythm of, turning your mind off of that. And there are things you can do. I tell you, sometimes, I mean, I have multiple different kinds of work. I have my property inspections business, and I've been doing that for 9 years. I can shut that off.
Oh, that long already.
Yep. Yep, nine years. Actually, almost to the month. In probably 2 months, it'll be 9 years. I think I started September of 12 when I started doing that job, and I'll never forget my first inspection. I'll never forget, and it was a long time of doing that all the time, and I would do it even 7 days a week sometimes. before I started to figure out, okay, no, I can take a day off. I can, like it's okay to take a day off. I can make that work. And now by this point, I can turn that off in my brain immediately. In fact, I look forward to turning it off in my brain. I can do the job and not think about it at all. I can do the job and be on the phone with people. I can do the job and be listening to the Quran or, the recent book, the Book of Mormon, and, the different Latter-day Saints sacred documents. I listen to all those. And I listen to other books. I listen to that audio book that Ryan, the audio drama that Ryan always promotes, The Trials of St. Patrick, which is just incredible and
So good.
engaging, and it draws you in. And like, I actually, with that one, because it's so engaging, I would miss turns, when I'm driving because I'm so engaged.
It's way too
in that.
engaging.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good.
Your mind is going like 100 miles an hour while they tell this story. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's cool. But at any rate, so at some point you'll be able to do this better. So you can still have fun and your mind can still be there. You can still do other things. Try and think of things you like to do. I've seen you on the Minecraft servers. I know you like Minecraft, or at least you used to. You can try playing some Minecraft. A lot of times, so I do my property inspection business, and I also do work on Black Static and Swerve stuff, video production, audio production, music, all this kind of stuff. We do this stream. There's different stuff that we do for Black Static and Swerve, and that's another job that I have. And I try on Sundays to not do any of it, because I try not to do inspections work or Black Static and Swerve work at all. I try to just not, I try to take that day, meditate, pray, read, maybe I'll watch a movie, maybe I'll play some video games, maybe I'll play some video games with my kids, who knows, spend some time with friends, maybe hang out on Discord, who knows. But I try on Sundays to not do anything work related. Now, that's a biblical principle, to work 6 days and have 1 day off. But sometimes, my mind will still wander. It's hard to shut off things to do for BSS in my mind, because I think about it all the time. I think about the projects that I have coming up. I think about the projects I'm working on right now. I think about how am I going to do all this? I think there's all kinds of stuff. And truth be told, this past Sunday, I ended up working on some video production because there was kind of a little bit of deadline that got thrust upon me at the last moment. But it was fun, and it didn't really feel like work because, I enjoy doing it. So I give myself a concession every once in a while. But anyway, see if there's something you can do to distract yourself. Our minds are crazy powerful. Crazy powerful. And if we give something to our mind to focus on, it can do it. And I know even people with ADHD and stuff like that, they are capable of, their minds are very powerful as well. It's just maybe they have a little bit of trouble focusing. And Ryan, did you have ADHD? Okay,
Yeah.
so you know a little bit more about.
I was diagnosed with ADD, but yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But at any rate, so our minds can really draw us into things. So sometimes it's nice to have a distraction or a diversion or something. Maybe we can just go outside and take a walk. And it probably depends on your temperament a little bit, what kinds of things are going to distract you the best. If you're a task-oriented person, probably doing something. Doing something with your hands, doing something, working on something. For me, I have a little project where I will, uh, I'm replacing a screen on a Kindle Fire Kids Edition, right? So that's a fun little tech project, you get to do. And, that's something I would be able to do on a day off and just kind of tinker around with it. I don't really have much of a time frame on it. I can just kind of do it at my own speed. I'm not in a hurry. I can just boom, whatever. Another thing that I do that I've taken a liking to lately is folding origami flowers. I've made tons of them now. It's been kind of therapeutic
Nice.
for me. I've just been folding and well, I got a little one right here. It's a teeny tiny little one.
Wow. That's cool.
Here's a teeny tinier littler one.
Teenier, tinier, littler one.
It's just
Wow,
like a
that
little,
looks like a bead.
it's like a little rosebud.
Like a. Do you do that on
Yeah.
paper? That's amazing.
Yeah, the paper was this size.
Nice.
So yeah, and just little things like that, I mean, that will help me to relax. It'll help take my mind off of, stuff that's going on. It'll help me to just, kind of mellow out and focus elsewhere. And so little things like that, hobbies, stuff. If you're a people-oriented person, probably being with other people is a thing that you could do that would help divert your mind from thinking about work and focusing on work. Being with family, being with friends, giving somebody a call on the phone, getting on, on a VC and Discord or whatever, something. But I don't know. I try to distract myself and do something that doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it's not urgent. It's not important. It's just relaxing and, stuff like that. Like folding origami roses. I don't know how important that is. But it sure is fun. I got a whole box full of them. But anyway, so that's kind of what I do. I try and relax. I try and do other things. I try and make a point to do something else because I'm a task-oriented person. And because I can do that, that helps me focus on the thing I'm doing rather than all the stuff that I'm going to be doing when I go back to work the next day. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. I'm turning it over to Ryan. Ryan, have at it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for starting us off. And
I like rakas. Learn to break dance. That's pretty relaxing.
yeah, that sounds like yeah. All right. So I think one thing that you kind of just said at the end there, you're sort of distracting yourself, right? I think distracting is a wrong word. It's the word that we're going to use because you're trying to get your mind off of work so that you can relax better. So in a way that you're distracting yourself from something, but it's productive. Usually when we speak of distraction, it means we're supposed to be doing something productive and then we are not because we are distracted.
I like that. That's a good
point. Right, we're taken away from something with value. But what we're doing is valuable. And Joe just said, I don't know if making paper mache, that's a totally different origami flowers is productive. And I think that it is on two different fronts.
Thank you.
We got to understand productive means valuable, right? If something's productive, it's valuable, right? And when we take time to get away from work and etc., it's valuable to that work, but it's also valuable to our brain and our body and our environment in our family, right? They did a study, and this study has been done many, many, many times by many different people, and it always comes out the same. If you work 7 days a week, every single day, your work productivity slows down. And if you work 6 days a week and you get 1 day off, your work productivity is higher than those people. Like, those other people are working an extra day and you're still getting more done than them in those 6 days. And they've proven that time and time and again in many different jobs where people work 7 days straight and then another group works 6 days straight for several weeks in a row. And the people that always work 6 days straight always outproduce the people who are working 7 days. And it should not be that way, but it is, because our minds need time to disconnect from that work, to relax, to regain strength, to rest, and so on. Sometimes even having that time off but still thinking about work makes us way more productive when we get to work, because now we have a game plan, right? So it's okay to think about work sometimes, but it's nice to be able to get some rest from it. It makes you more productive, statistically speaking. So here's another thing, right? So it's valuable in that area, but it's also valuable in another. The second thing that it's valuable in is when we do something we enjoy, right? We are stimulating our brain, right? We're stimulating our brain with chemicals. We're balancing our brain's chemistry out, right? Because if you go too far in one area, you end up lacking in others. So you need an outlet, right? If you, for example, if you smoke cigarettes, it causes you to have certain chemical responses in your brain, which formulates an addiction, and it messes the whole chemistry up, right? So then you get off of the cigarettes, your brain feels you've already created all these extra chemicals in your brain. Now you're off of the cigarettes. Your brain is starting to like go, whoa, we've got too many of these chemicals. We have to get rid of them. How do we do that? Oh, let's smoke again, right?
It balances
That's the
it
way
out.
it balances it out. You've created your brain, you've created a need for smoking because your brain is trying to balance it out, and it's trying to balance it with smoking in mind, right? Work is the same. Your brain's chemistry, right, is trying to balance. And it makes it very hard to balance when you've got a teeter-totter and all of your effort is on this side, and you don't put any effort on the other parts of your life, right? It's very hard to balance your brain chemistry and your family life and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's valuable in that way too. So it's important to take that time off. And the last thing, I guess the third thing, is more religious, but as Joe said, he might think that folding paper cranes and flowers and things like that isn't very productive or valuable. But keep in mind, what you enjoy in this world, God enjoys with you. God is, right? If you believe that God is in you, if you truly believe that, then the things that you take joy in doing, you get to share that joy with the person who created all things. And so that's a valuable moment. That's a deep moment. Even if you don't necessarily feel the presence of God there and you're just enjoying yourself, that's a valuable moment. So that's on the religious side. If you're not religious, or if you're a different religion, that's all right. I just wanted to put that one out there for Sparrow, who's asking the question. So keep that in mind. These are reasons. These are simply reasons for taking that day off. And the reason I state them is to help inspire you to work hard at taking your day off correctly. So, or rather, to not be in the mindset that, oh, I'm not getting anything done. Because a lot of times our brain is going 100 miles an hour and we're like, I'm not being productive. I'm not getting anything done. I'm wasting time. I'm not being valuable. I'm not being valuable to the people around me. I'm not being valuable to my workplace. I'm not being valuable to myself, all this type of things, right? And I want to get you out of that mindset because that's inappropriate. It's not true, right? It's what you feel because you want to see physical development happen in front of you, right? You want to see work getting done because that to your brain translates as value. And that's not absolutely incorrect, but I want to steer your mind clear of that, because if that's what you think life is, your life is not going to be very enjoyable, because there's a lot more in life than work, right? And there's a lot more things that are valuable than work. So it's okay to sit a day out. In fact, it's okay to sit a couple of days out, a week even. It's fine. You weren't put here on Earth, right? You weren't put here on Earth just to slave away. You were meant for more. And part of that more is relaxation. Part of that more is enjoying the world that's already around you. And you don't even have to work for it. Go out into the woods. Go out on some trail and walk it. Bike, roller skate, ice skate. Fantastic activities. Go and talk to somebody. Have a conversation. It's a great activity. It gets a lot done. It's like, I'm not getting any work done, but I'm having a conversation, and there is almost no work more valuable than focusing on another individual. To tell the truth, that's often more times valuable than your work is, right? What do you work for? What do you do as your job? Isn't it ultimately to serve somebody? It is, right? Every job that you can get pretty much exists to serve another individual. Why not just talk to somebody? It's literally the same thing, except for it doesn't involve work, but it's equally valuable in the regard of helping somebody or just having a relationship with someone, making someone's day, right? So something that I do on my days off, sometimes I just go talk to random strangers online. And it's fun. I go meet people and just enjoy their conversation, find out new things about this person. You know, of course, they're new. I've never met them before, but finding out all of these sorts of things and having a deep conversation with someone I've never met before, right? Pulling them in. And it's funny because it happens all the time. People are like, I don't know. I'm not usually this talkative. I don't understand. I'm like, that's okay. You know, like I pull people out into conversation, and that helps them to empty themselves. It helps them to really feel more relaxed, but also open and have deep discussions and just live in that moment and enjoy themselves and in my company, right? And I can do that for people. And what do I get out of it? Pretty much the same thing. A lot of joy, a lot of relaxation, even though it's not relaxing like on the sofa watching TV, but it's relaxing in a different way. And it's valuable, right? I get to touch and be a part of that human's life, just like I would do working, right? So there's a great activity for you if you want to find things to do when you're mentally engaged with another person in their life. Work might come into your brain every so often, but usually it's only because of the topic at hand. And you're like, oh, yeah, I can relate to that because of work. But other than that, your brain is more focused on them and you're thinking about all sorts of different parts of your life. So enjoy conversation with somebody, whether it be a stranger or somebody you know. That's something that I would recommend. Also, yeah, I play video games. My time off, it's fun. I enjoy it. Play with people or play by myself. It's relaxing, and I again get to enjoy something that is beautiful in this world, something handcrafted by an individual, but using the mechanics that God gave us. And I think that that's great. And God gets to be there and enjoy that pleasure with me and how I experience it. And so it's great. It's great. Nothing wrong with it. Obviously, there's something wrong with it if you get addicted to anything in life, whether it be work. Addicted to work is not good. Addicted to pleasure is not good, right? You need to have that sense of balance, right? So, Sparrow, I would encourage you, maybe find some hobbies, right? Do something that gets your brain so focused on it that you can't even think about any other things. That's something that I like to do. Um, it could be many different things, or sometimes sit there in silence. I like to do that too.
Mhm.
Now, of course, your brain is going to want to wander off into work again, but if you have organized silence, meaning like prayer, or you have a specific thing that you want to discuss with yourself, or figure out about the world. Like sometimes I just take a topic and I think about that topic and I go pace like back and forth about that topic, trying to figure out and solve that topic. Um, and that's a great joy to me. And it really puts my brain in a completely different atmosphere than work. But it's very focused, and I'm discovering things. And I'm asking all sorts of different questions to myself to try to figure out why this, why that on this topic. Why do people do this? You know? And then I start thinking about it and I get into it, and it's a lot of fun. So I would recommend that. Pick a topic that you've been curious about and just pace and think about it and try to solve a big, deep question that might help someone else someday, or something that might help you. So those are my recommendations. I hope that helps. But yeah, I really just wanted to put aside that fear of that mindset, rather, of it not being valuable to do something outside of work.
Mm.
Relaxation is very valuable. Don't ever feel guilt for not getting something done. That doesn't make any sense. You're doing something with your day no matter what. And it might be just goofing off.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, whether you worked hard or you goofed off, at the end of the day is done. There's only one thing you can do, and that's to pray and say, hey, God, make my day worth something. To me, to someone, to you. I hope you had fun. I did, you know, and then move on to the next day. So, yeah, that's what I got. Joe, you got anything else you want to add?
Um, I don't know. That was beautiful. I do
You're
remember.
beautiful.
Why? Thank you. I'm
Yeah, you're
runner up
welcome.
to you, for sure. In that regard.
You are second best. Yeah.
Second best.
That's right.
Oh
Sorry, that
my.
was from last stream.
Um, one of the things I used to do is go somewhere.
Not true.
I used to.
I remember you and I used to take rides
Mm-hmm.
time to time. I
Yep.
remember you always used to go, hey, I'm just going to go drive around. And I'm like, okay,
Yep.
sure. I
Yep.
think it's cool.
Now I drive for a living, and like,
Yeah,
so that's driving around, just driving around without a destination isn't as appealing anymore because that's what I do for work. So
yeah.
I don't really.
Uh-huh.
I have lots of destinations, because it's a route. But anyway, I used to. I
Mhm.
remember when I used to do instrument repair and I was so fortunate to live in Traverse City, Michigan, which is one of the most beautiful places on earth, I think. And is surrounded by some of the most beautiful places on earth. I would just go to a beach and hang out. I'd be done with work. I'd just, maybe it'd be the weekend. On a weekend when I wasn't going to see family, which is driving like 3 hours away. But I'd just go to a beach by myself and sit and listen to the water. The cool thing about up there was you could find a beach where you would have it all to yourself. Ryan and I experienced that.
Mhm.
We went on a video footage gathering journey, and we went to all these beaches, and I used to go to all these places. I used to pick one and go there and just sit in the sand and smell the dead fish, because that's what the Great Lakes smell like.
That's right.
It's
That's
not
my
like salt
favorite.
water.
Hey, it's not Mackinac Island.
It's not Mackinac Island. It smells like horse. Yep.
Yeah, it
horse
smells like horse poo and fudge.
and fudge, which is an interesting
Mackinac Island,
combination.
horse poo and fudge. That's the combo.
Yep.
Yep, it's the smell of Mackinac Island. And you know it as soon as you smell it. You're like, that's the
It-
smell. They make Mackinac Island scented candles. I'm not even joking. And it's basically just horse manure and fudge smell.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Yep. Yeah, Leia, yeah, the video Sail On the the first release I ever did, it's on my YouTube channels, and the link is in the description. Um uh Sail On, all that footage came from, well, most of it, 99% of it came from Ryan and I taking a journey around near Traverse City, Michigan, and there's just all these little towns and little beaches and little areas all over the place. And we drove around there and we just got footage. The best place we found, we almost missed.
Yeah.
We were driving and we were like, wait a minute, there was a road that went off there. And the crazy thing, up there, the cell phone service isn't all that great, so Google Maps wasn't working all that great. So it's kind of glitchy on our phones. And so, but we turned around real quick and we were like, oh yeah, let's go up here. And so we went down a little ways and there was this little tiny church. We were like, well, that's pretty interesting, what the heck, And so we went up to this little church, and it was a little Catholic church, and they had, apparently they said there was a little sign there, is like, this church is not used very often. They only do mass like 6 times a year at this church, but it was still open and you could go in. And so Ryan and I both went in and we sat in there for a little while and we prayed for a little bit. And then behind the church, there was a walkway. And this walkway went back to the most incredible beach with the most incredible footage gathering waves and everything. The lighting was perfect. The lighting on the water was, everything was just amazing and gorgeous at this spot. Remember that spot, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
You were walking back there,
Yeah.
and it was just like, we almost missed this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was just on a whim, and that's what a good adventure is. A lot of times it's just on a whim. It's like, why don't we just turn around? Why don't we see what's over there?
Mhm. Yep, that was great.
It turned out awesome.
It did. And so yeah, so we got some good footage at that place. But yeah, so if you watch that video Sail On, what you're gonna find is, all those little places that Ryan and I went to, and they're all up around Traverse City, Michigan. And I used to go there after work because I lived there for about 4 years. And so I would just go and sit by myself at a beach by myself because I like being by myself. And just relax and kind of unwind. And I really like the water too. I like the sound of the waves. I like the breeze on my face. It could be cloudy, it could be sunny, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter. And just sit. Used to be sometimes I'd like to go canoeing or kayaking or something, and I'd just, I'd borrow one of my parents' kayaks or something, and I'd head to some river, and I'd just, the rivers around here don't move very fast, and so we just kind of, you can go upstream and downstream, and it's pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
But so maybe it might help. It's just, I'm just kind of spitballing at this point, but you can try to do something. Maybe you need to go somewhere. Maybe you need to just take a walk in the woods. Maybe take a walk in the city. Maybe whatever, just do something different. Go someplace different. And the cool thing is no matter where you go, you'll probably find something beautiful about it. Even in the hood, when I do inspections, there's beauty there. There's people there. On Fridays when I go to the hood, it smells like barbecue chicken on charcoal grills.
Yeah.
Smells so
I
good.
knew that's what you're gonna say. It sure does. It smells so good.
Great, man. Like, every Friday in the summer. I'm like, I try and do some of the city inspections because I know they're going to be cooking. And it's going to smell really good. And
In
then
their
I'm going to be hungry.
backyards.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. It's wonderful. But, yep. And Raka, absolutely. Lying on the ground is a lot more fun than most people realize. Lying on the ground in the rain is a lot of fun. Just standing out in the rain. I love standing out in the rain. Especially in the summer, not in the winter when it's supposed to be snowing, but it's raining because it's not quite cold enough, but it's almost cold enough. We talked about that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think that was last week or the week before, but that's, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Lay. Your stomach rumbled. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much what I have. You might need to change your scenery, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that can help as well. To kind of just, you separate yourself from where you're at. Sometimes when we're at home, we're getting ready for work, or we're just getting home from work, and, you know, so work is still kind of all around us even when we're at home. So maybe just go to a park, go to a lake, go to I don't know what you have around you. You know, go somewhere and just hang out. It can be one of the most refreshing experiences. So anyway, that's all I got. Ryan?
No, that's awesome. Rekka said something earlier on that topic. If you work from home, change your environment. Don't go into the room where you work. Try to stay out of it, and so that you can enjoy yourself. That was Rekka's advice, and I would absolutely agree. It makes sense. So, yeah. But yeah, that's I think that's our show. So, Sparrow, thanks for the question. Anybody who didn't get your question answered today, you know the drill. Show up next Wednesday, and we'll cover it. We have this every single Wednesday. That's why we call it Don't Worry Wednesday. And don't worry, we pretty much make it to every one of them. If I'm not here, someone will cover for me. But that's
and if
pretty
I'm
rare.
not here, someone will cover for me too.
Same for Joe.
Yeah, we're usually here. We get as much out of this show as you guys do. We might get more out of it.
Yeah,
Actually.
we have. Yeah, it's probably true. I don't know why you guys are here. It's really just us having fun. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can't. I can't imagine you guys are enjoying yourselves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fat ticks are just free range fruit gushers. That is kind of true.
Oh my gosh,
but
Mochi.
yes, it's nasty.
Oh, that's. Oh man.
Have you ever
That's
stomped
great.
on one after you pull it off like your dog's ear or something, you know, and you're like, and it's all, you know, full.
Oh, and it's already got the blood in it. Yeah, it's full.
And then you stomp on it, and they pop. And they go,
I've never done that. No.
oh, that's quite an experience.
Yeah, they make the popping sound.
Yeah.
Slurp, slurp.
And it's crazy. Like
Mochi.
you might have a big foot. And the tick is like this big, right? Because it's sucked up all this blood, and so now it's like
Wow.
it's like a small grape. But when you stomp on it, there's a good chance that blood will go out from, like you'll see it out the sides of your shoes, like.
I just remembered something. So I've never actually had a tick on my body or on anybody I knew other than my brother when I was too little to remember it. So I've never really gotten to see a tick in action. However, I used to live in this place called Houghton Lake, Michigan. And they lived right on the lake, and they had an insanely overpopulation of mayflies. Those are those weird, long, thin, like they're thin and long, and they have these wings, and they're kind of big wings. They aren't pretty.
Yeah, isn't their lifespan like 1 day?
Like lights. Yes.
Yeah.
Their lifespan is 1 to 2 days. Perfect. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. And by overpopulation, I mean, and in way beyond what you could even imagine. I worked at a Taco Bell, and because the lights are on at night, the mayflies would flow over to our area when we would go into work in that morning, mayflies this thick of just mayfly stacked on mayfly, stacked on mayfly, stacked on mayfly, about 3 yards out from the exterior of the building, all the way up to the building. You would walk on them, and it would just
Oh my.
all the way to the door, and you would try to open the door, and you're just like, someone get a shovel. You're like, and it's just mayflies, like a mountain of them, where the door is, and then you
Oh
close the
my
door behind you. I am not joking, and I'm sorry if this paints a terrifying picture to anybody's brain.
Wow.
And during work, it was, you'd open up the drive-through window to, to do drive-through stuff. Like, hey, here's your money, here's your food. It was just not doable. The person would come and they would roll down their window and you would go, and they'd get flooded with them. And you're like, oh no. And then you press the button to open your window and he goes, and then he goes, and you're like, no. It was so bad and so unsanitary.
Oh wow.
It was so bad. So anyways, that's my story about bugs. That was,
That's a great bug
you
story.
would try to look outside, but the windows were absolutely placid, covered in them. You couldn't see out the windows.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. It's so crazy. But never had a tick. So
Wow. I've never had one on me either, but I've
That's
pulled
good.
them. I've pulled them off dogs before. That's interesting.
yeah, dogs are kind of prone to get them.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. Now we've talked
Yeah.
about ticks. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys enjoy that conversation?
Thanks
I'll
for
just take
coming to
that
Don't
next
Worry
time on
Wednesday.
Don't Worry
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Don't Worry
Yeah, if
Wednesday,
you
where we
thought
talk
that
about
conversation was
ticks
awful,
and-
don't worry. We'll never have it again.
Yeah.
Come back next Don't Worry Wednesday.
We might talk about the community toothpaste bucket again,
Yeah, there you
because
go.
that's just fun to talk about, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. There's no greater time to be had than to
Yes.
But
speak
thank
of
you all
the community.
for your continued support. We couldn't have the show without you.
Yes, and your continued
That's
patience
right.
with us and our bantering back and forth. And thank you, Princess, for putting up with us.
Mhm.
My
Thank you.
goodness.
We love you. We love you, Princess. We love you guys in the chat. And this concludes our Don't Worry Wednesday. Come back next week, and we will see you there. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Love.
Love you guys. Peace.